How do you find your dream client or your ICP, ideal customer profile? This is the type of customer that can spend all of the money with you, help you grow your business, and you know that you are going to knock it out of the park every single time. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing, or even business operations. Down in the video description, or if you're listening to the podcast, MSP Heroes, available on all platforms. We'd appreciate a 5-star review, by the way. There are helpful links underneath. I would highly recommend going and checking out those links. One of those links in particular is growth-generators.com/resource. Or resources, I should say. And under here, you'll actually also see the blog, the forum, all of that, as well as the Discord. But you could go and grab a ton of free, helpful tools that you could start implementing, as well as a bunch of other super helpful stuff. So if you're getting into HIPAA compliance, there is a link for my favorite HIPAA compliance software already on there. And there's a ton of other links as well, from pricing masterclasses to getting the MSP Sales Pro Blueprint and so much more. I would highly recommend going and checking it out. growth-generators.com/resources. So you guys have heard me talk about buyer personas in the past, and a buyer persona is really a ICP. It's actually you just putting that information down on a piece of paper that allows you to get extreme clarity. And by the way, the buyer persona is available at growth-generators.com/resources. So let's talk about an ICP, because once again, this is your dream customer. The customer that will pay you all of the money, knows that you are going to do a great job. And I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to go figure out that person and actually walk you through a lot of the buyer persona worksheet as well, because it's going to help you. If you can fill this out, the trajectory of your MSP is going to dramatically increase for the better. You're going to find better clients. You're going to find more reliable clients. You're going to be able to know exactly who to target and actually how to go target them. So let's talk about first identifying your ICP, or your ideal customer profile. Now, this is your dream customer. And really, they are that type of customer that also gets you excited to work. I think a lot of us in the MSP world focus on chasing the money, right? It's not the worst thing in the world, but there's a lot more to that than just that. You want to make sure that you're getting the characteristics of that person to know how to actually go into the sales call, how to pitch, what's important to them. And the more accurate you can be on this, and the more defined you can have this, the better off your success is going to be. It's going to help dictate your sales strategies, not only that sales call, but even your marketing strategies to actually following that up. And I'm going to just share with you guys the buyer persona, so I'm not making you wait before I go to the rest of this. But I'm going to show you the first sheet. If you want, there will be a link down below to grab the buyer persona. But you want to go through, you want to make up, even if you don't have this person in mind, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks at the end on how to make this a lot easier. But you want to give them fake information, unless this is already one of your dream customers, right? A first name, a last name, their age range, right? 25 to 55, 35 to 65. Hey, maybe you're like, hey, I really like working with people from 25 to 45. That's totally fine as well. Male, female, whatever you prefer there, the city, state, even the country that they're located in. Some of you guys have called me up and said, hey, I have an opportunity overseas, whether you're based in Australia, you're based in the UK, and wherever that ideal customer is. And I've heard the craziest from you guys, and I absolutely love that you guys share that information with me. Also, the demographics. Are you targeting the business owner, or are you talking to the CTO, Chief Technology Officer? Are you talking to the COO, Chief Operations Officer? There is so much in here that is going to help dictate and tailor all of your approach, because then we can take this information and once again use it for everything else going forward. Even the income range. Believe it or not, at different income ranges, if you're talking to people that make or bring home, even if it's the business owner, sub $100,000 a year, the way you speak to them, the way you present is going to be very, very different than how you would approach or speak to somebody who's making $1 million+ a year, right? And also paints a picture of the problems that they're actually going through. The psychographics, what hobbies do they partake in, activities, do they like pickleball? Believe it or not, most executives, especially ones earning well over $100,000 a year, love golf. Maybe it's something that you learn to pick up, or at least learn enough about that you can go out and potentially play with them if that ever comes up, right? And what are their short and long-term goals? Maybe their long-term goals or short-term goals is peace of mind, and long-term goals is actually not growth. Maybe it's longevity, right? And then we have behaviors and habits, and you could go grab the second page. It's available, growth-generators.com/resources. And like I said, I will leave a link directly to it down in the video description. But really what you want to go through as you're looking for this is you have to find and have the key factors to your ICP, ideal customer profile, right? That's going to be the industry that they're a part of. A lot of you guys want to do all of the industries. And while that seems like a great idea, you can be a specialist in one and charge way more money and not have to train your technicians or you on 1,000 different platforms and learn 1,000 different types of businesses and learn a ton of different regulatory alphabet agency things, right? And that's really what it comes down to. Rules, regulations, however they want to implement it, whether it's HIPAA, FINRA, the list goes on from there. How big are the companies that you want to focus in? Maybe you're at the point where you're a fairly large MSP. Maybe you don't want the little guys. You can still buddy up with a smaller MSP and they can take the little clients. Maybe you only want 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to 100 employees. Maybe after 100's too much for you. And that's okay too. Maybe you're just starting out. You're like, hey, anybody with a computer, it doesn't matter if it's one person all the way up to 20, 30 people. That's exactly what you want. It makes targeting significantly easier to know this. Where are they located? Seems pretty self-explanatory. That's also on the worksheet there. And also, what technology stack are they using? It's important that you get fully immersed in, or at least you immerse yourself in their environment, right? Are they having EMRs, electronic medical records? Are they worried about the alphabet agencies? That's a whole other thing. Or do you put the pieces together and say, oh my goodness, if they did this with this, and we've seen it work really, really good for another client already, if we just got everybody to do that, everything would get so much easier. That's your superpower as an MSP, a managed solutions provider, not just a service provider, right? We can go like MSSP, right? Managed Security Solutions Service Provider, right? If you want to get crazy. But in all honesty, and all of these things help address one major key point that is going to earn you all of the money. It's going to put this in your pocket, in this case, fake money, but we're going to get you real money, right? And that is addressing their pain points. You have to know the pain points, the struggles that they have, because without that, you're not going to get that much further, right? People buy for four main reasons: pain in the present, pain in the future, pleasure in the present, and pleasure in the future. You have to address at least one of those four, or more than one, to get somebody to cross over and give you money, sign the check, put the money in the bank, all of that good stuff. That's truly what it is. We are people that fix their problems. We see things very differently than how our customers see them. That's what makes us amazing. That's what gives us our superpower with technologies. We can put the pieces together that they might not be able to see. That's truly what makes us amazing. And if we can figure that out for our ICP, it's endless as far as our success can actually go. So let's talk about gathering some information on this person, right? And making our lives easier, because I really want to make this as easy for you guys as possible. Now, I said in the beginning, if you already have this type of customer, that's perfect, right? We want to do what an existing analysis, and that's seeing who our favorite customers are. Now, hopefully you have some kind of whiteboard or just get out a notepad and write down your favorite customers. And if you're like, if I could just have 10 of these, every problem would go away. Those are the best type of customers out there for you, right? But we have to analyze our existing customers and start to say these are our favorites. And if you have a team and you're in a larger MSP, have this be like a team building activity. You can find out from your employees who their favorite customers are. And if you can go get more of them, you're going to have employee satisfaction. You're going to have employee retention go up. You're going to be able to make more money, which means you're going to be able to pay people better. You're never going to lose those employees, right? So the second part of this is you have to do some market research, right? If you're thinking about getting into an industry, and I hope that that's more so after you're established, but if you're just starting out getting into an industry, you got to do some market research. I love attending industry exclusive events. There are tons of them, from the dentistry world to plastic surgeons, all the way through. If you don't want to get into HIPAA financial people, you can get into accountants, law, all of this. But the more you submerge yourself into it and learn from it, you're going to be able to get information that isn't accessible by most other people. And then after all of that, and you've gone through all of that, maybe you're a little established or you're looking and compiling data, look at your CRM. Who are the deals that you've closed lately that you love closing those deals with and your team absolutely loves it? Maybe they're newer customers, but you're like, these are labs. We can take 10-person to 25-person companies all day in this very specific industry, and we're basically at this point printing money. You have to use the data that you get from your customer relationship manager, your CRM. I, as you guys already know, love Go High Level. There's a link down below. That's what we use here. But you can choose whatever you want. It doesn't have to be Go High Level. If you want HubSpot, Salesforce, Keep, Pipedrive, Zoho, the list goes on and on there. But you really want to get that information as soon as possible. Now, after you do all of this, that is when, and you kind of identified it, that's when I would recommend starting to go through and filling out your buyer persona template. It's only going to make your life easier because you can use this. We can plug this into AI and have it spit back information. Now, if you want an even more detailed version of this, we're going to be releasing one at the time of releasing this video within about a week or so inside of our MSP Heroes community, where it'll have an entire sheet. It's about 100 questions long, but it's actually going to we're going to teach you how to use AI to go and build all of your marketing material, all of your website material, your messaging, all of your approaches, everything using a buyer persona template. This is the more abbreviated one, but this is more than enough to actually get started. And when you actually implement this, you take this, you start using it, you find your dream customers, right? And you start to sell them. You have to validate. At the end of the day, we're data people. Is it truly what you wanted? Is it giving you the satisfaction, right? We want to do work we enjoy. Is it making the money that you thought it was going to make? Is it giving you enough of a challenge that you don't lose interest? That is a real thing. But is it also making you the money and giving you the urgency to get through it, right? Is it a customer that you truly want, or is it like, okay, I thought they would be cool. That's okay. We can pivot. That's the point of being in business, right? We get to be able to do that kind of thing. And after you do that, it's as simple as washing, rinsing, and repeating. It's going through that process over and over. Just like I'm going to ask you to like, follow, subscribe, notification bell in almost every single video. It's doing the same thing over and over and over again. Business, as fun as business should be, it's very much repetitive and cyclical. That's how you make all of the money, right? If we look at some of the biggest companies on earth, I'll use Apple as an example, they only have a handful of different products. Yeah, they have a bunch of variations of those products, but they only make about 10-ish different products. But they've been able to revamp and recycle a lot of what they already have, making it better and better and better. And in business, a lot of the best service companies, right? Well, just use Belfour after a disaster. They came here and did my house after my house fire, right? They know, hey, you have a house fire, you need these 10 things. We're going to go, we're going to set it up, we're going to implement it, we're going to charge you a bunch of money, and then we're going to be gone in a week. And they do that over and over and over and over again. And that's how they've become this massively successful business. The most successful businesses out there have a process. They know who they're targeting. They come up with a solution to provide to them, and then they wash, rinse, and repeat over and over and over again. And that's truly the secret to growing your MSP. I know it sounds super easy because it is. A lot of people out there overcomplicate the heck out of this. You need to find your dream customer, figure out the problems that they're having, provide solutions for them, and then they're in your ecosystem. They're never going to leave if you do a great job throughout that process. Of course, there's going to be projects that come up. But if you can find out who your dream customer is and you can repeat this cycle over and over and over again, you can basically print money. You know exactly how you're going to target these people. You know how you're going to bring them in all the way through to getting them on your monthly subscription. And you're going to just wash, rinse, and repeat for all new clients. They're going to fit like a glove, and you are going to grow your MSP. So I hope this video helped. I would highly recommend going and getting the buyer persona worksheet. It is, in my opinion, more valuable than any video I've ever made, any piece of content I've ever made, because if you know who your dream customer is, it becomes so much easier to grow a business. I promise you on that one. Other than that, I love the heck out of you guys. Like, subscribe, notification bell, hang out with us in the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you guys.